everybody, this is Alyssa from Ink Arts and Crafts, and today we are here for my post-review Blingy the Thingy look at this canvas that I just finished. Oh my goodness, it is so amazing. So this is going to be Naughty Space Void, and this is from the artist Yume, and it comes to us from Diamond Art Club. That's the original art image for it. This canvas has 59 colors. It is square drills, and it is a 60 by 76 centimeter canvas. So not too bad size-wise. I like the size for it. I think that's an excellent size. So we're going to go over a little bit about like this canvas, take a look at the specials that I added in and what it everywhere that I added them, so you guys can get a feel for like how varied and much variety you can get into that. This was my cheat sheet for the specials that in the enhancements that I added. That's what I utilized. I've got videos on how I went through that process. And these are the regular drills that I have left over. As you see looking through here, there's my old dead putty. I have a lot of drills left over on this because I used so many special drills. Some of the colors, like this is a color that, well, it's not a super amount. There's maybe like that much in the bottom of it, but there's some decent amounts of some of these colors. So I'm actually going to do like the spare square thing from those mini gems that I got from Forever Young last week with some of the colors on here to kind of like utilize this canvas set into that color platform for it. But anyways, this is Naughty Space Void. It's a color palette, and there were a couple colors that I did actually come close to that I came like was really low on. Like this color right here was actually, it wasn't a super popular color in here. Like there was other colors I had more of, but you can see there's not a ton of that one left. And then also when I come over here to 939, which is one of your most basic colors, like that's all I had left of the 939. And most of those drills are like trashy garbage drills. So I'm not saving these ones because they all have like little taps on them. I was just pushing them around on my tray rather than actually pulling them out. And then we get other ones like this, which wasn't a lot of that color to begin with. Some colors that we have a lot more of. These blues were a lot of the cat, and then some of the background were these different blue colors. But I have a fair amount of all of these shades in left. There's some colors that I have a lot of. Like I have a ton. I have almost a half container full of 3865 fairy dust because I used ABs for some of it. So there's a lot of leftovers. I was worried about the 939 and this 3022 that I might need to get replacement drills or more drills from it. But anyways, we're going to pull that off to the side. So now we're going to take a look at the overall canvas for you guys. This is, look how sparkly it is. I added enhancements up here on those Monstera leaves. I added enhancements over here into the leaves that we're seeing on that side, which is kind of like, it doesn't show up really well on camera, but it shows up really well in person. And you can see in person that we've got these big dark leaves here. And then these little swooshy things coming down, and then like this area here. And then there's like all of the little plants coming down right through there. And then as we come up, there is our Space Void. So our little Naughty Space Void, who just ate the little fish out of the water bowl. I love how the water bowl rendered. The fish bowl rendered really well. And then we have this vase over here, this vase with flowers here, and then our cat. And I added a lot of enhancements to the cat and under the cat. So we're going to go through a little bit of what I ended up doing replacements-wise and enhancements on this. I'll turn on that overhead so we can see. I like how the overhead catches the light on this a little bit better. And you can see then like our blues. I had no issues with this canvas. The blue was perfect. The drill field was perfect. I felt like with how much color blocking you have, yeah, there's some, if you look really closely, there's some little spots that are kind of gappy, but that's a lot has to do with my own placement. But I would rather have it be slightly gappy in certain areas rather than so tight that your drills are popping off, because that is not enjoyable to work on a canvas like that. So up into here, like if you want to know how I stored my special drills for this, I put them in this pen, this is a box, a shipping box that Pest Pens came in. I put them in here, and then I also had 4 additional ones that were right here that were just in their containers, and I set those containers beside it, and then if I needed to like move it around, I'd pop those into here, and you know, that way I had it all in one area. But these are all of the specials, which I've got crystals, I've got dust. So you can see here, like some of them I used more of, some of them I used less of. So I've got plenty of leftovers for it. I don't think I even ended up using this one because it was like I either got a crystal. This is actually 2 bags of that color in one bag. I got this crystal 433 and a glitter drill, and I ended up using the glitter. I used a lot of this yellow, surprisingly enough. Here's these colors here. I actually had 2 bags of the pixie dust that I combined into 1 bag. So, and then a lot of, used quite a bit of this color here as well. And as we come rolling through, you'll see this one was another one that I bought 2 bags of. Same thing here. This is one that was either the 433 or the glitter, and I ended up using the glitter. So we have this one that I used a fair amount of that crystal. Didn't use very much of this pixie dust there. There's that one. I don't know why I ended up ordering 2 things of that pixie dust when I could have gotten away with just 1 on a lot of these for them. But you can see there's a lot leftovers. Some of these I had ordered like 2 bags of. Same thing, I ordered like 2 bags of that. And then the sparklers. And you can see here, this one, I don't even know why I ordered that sparkler. I think I was going to use it for something, but I forgot to write down what I was going to use it for, so I didn't even end up opening that bag. But I definitely used the charcoal and the cloudless blue sparklers. So we're going to go ahead and then I also added in some of these 4 colors right here that you can see there. I added those into some of the details on the cat and wherever else. So we're going to kind of take that over and pull that down and take a look at what we've got going on in this canvas. All right, so first I'm gonna bring the camera down so we can take a closer look at some of these aspects of the canvas. And I love how the light like glistens on this. Let me see if it works any better with that main overhead off to see that better and just get the light from the other ones. All right, so up here on these Monstera, I kind of started with these. For the Monstera up here, I added, I have this crystal right in here. I added a fairy dust, which we can see right in here. And then there's like 2 shades of fairy dust in here. There's this like lighter color, and then there's also this darker brown, and then I have a glitter in here. So that's the glitter that we're seeing kind of in those areas. And I really liked kind of like the accent that it gave, and it really made this Monstera that was mostly shades of brown stand out a little bit more. I did also add this blue AB right through here. It was just a regular drill. I turned it into an AB. The drill right after it, this blue was a charted drill, and that one was a fairy dust. And then this one this one was just a regular color. I turned this one, that kind of like light gray that we see there, I turned that into a dust drill as well. And then this was supposed to be the white fairy dust, but I ended up turning that into an AB up here on that upper part for the clouds. So that's kind of what I did for that. And then down into this portion of the window, again, that's that same gray that we had up there, so that one's still a dust. I did end up leaving this big cloud right here. I ended up leaving that lower cloud as the dust drill. I felt like it kind of balanced a little bit better rather than trying to make that one all AB-esque. And then we come down and we have so that's what I did kind of right through there. This is the order I worked on the canvas. I started like that half, and then I came down, started into half of the cat, and I have so many specials on the cat. And it's so blingy, it's hard to see. But there are so many specials in here, and I'm trying to catch their look. Because they look so good and so blingy and so sparkly and blingy. Let me see if I can angle that up to catch it a little bit. So you can see I have this really cool like glitter drill right in here. And then there's like these, I have some sparklers in there. I have some crystal confetti, some dust, a couple different shades of dust, some ABs, a little of everything, some ABs, some dust, some more really pretty dust. The whiskers are all a dust drill as well. That all looks fantastic, and I love how it turned out. And then I tried to make as much of these little confetti spots that we're seeing in our cat. I tried to make as much of this confetti as possible into a special drill. And then these like really shiny spots kind of scattered throughout. We have some sparklers in here too to really add some accents. The fish came with 1 AB. I added another AB and a crystal confetti into the fish, which really kind of enhanced the look of it. So the only thing that's not a special on this fish is this dark brown color for our little goldfish. And then as we came down into our cat's tail, the cat's tail down in here, you can see there's that glitter. I'm really loving that glitter. And then there's our sparkler in there. You've got the glitter, and then you've got the sparklers as those accents. And then, you know, some dust, and there's some additional ones like some of these that are dust as well. And then some of these that are ABs, glitter, like these are all sparkly. Like those ones are a dust as well, that light blue. So there's so many enhancements on there. And what you can't really tell, it's very subtle, but it adds like an extra layer of depth. So there's the border and the outlining that we're seeing is a combination of a lot of this outline that you're seeing right through here. You can kind of catch the light of it. That's actually a blue crystal. That's 823 in crystal. And I really like how it worked. So the entire outline of our cat is not actually 310. It is a dark blue crystal. You see that? Look at that. You can see it in the tail right there. There's some 939 next to it, but it's mostly this dark blue crystal that you have to look at just right to catch the light. You can see it all throughout there. But when you look at it straight down, it looks like that whole area is black. But in reality, most of it is crystal. So it's really, really blingy with that portion. And then coming over here, I used this yellow AB for the table right there. I used some of the similar specials on our cat's shadow that we're seeing down there. Same thing with the shadow over towards the right as well. You can see the sparklers in there. I did add a little bit of bling around to the highlights of the vase. And then I added the AB for the white AB there. I added a blue AB, blue fairy dust in here. And then kind of a combination of dust and ABs for some of the highlights around the bowl. And it really made it stand out. So when you look at it from a distance, it really does give it like that depth of like water. And you're seeing all of like kind of seeing through it to behind. There's some specials up into here. I have some dust drills there, some ABs into here. There's another AB right there. And then this like glitter confetti, which I love a good glitter confetti. I love those, or well, the crystal confetti. And some glitter drills coming up. So you can see as we come up into this portion on these leaves, there's this glitter drill here. Actually, no, that one is... I want to say that one is, yeah, it's either that one's a glitter. And then I do have sparklers up in here as well. So the sparklers kind of are subtle, but it's one of these darker colors, like this whole strip right there. That whole section is actually a sparkler. It's that charcoal sparkler, which kind of adds like another special look to like enhance this area here because there's so much going on up in here. It doesn't translate very well on camera, but there is definitely a lot, like multiple shades of color going on right in here. It's not just one shade that we're seeing there. You can kind of see the darkness of that. But that's kind of where I ended up putting a lot of those specials and a lot of those enhancements. And I think it turned out fantastic. I love how it came out. I think it was beautiful. It's super, super fun. Technically, I think I actually charted those as ABs, and then the rest of this is dust. So I really should go back in and pull those white drills right here up and put the dust ones back down instead of the ABs, but it doesn't bother me enough to change it. So I'm leaving it. But anyways, it looks so good. So this was kind of like a passion project that I did. I worked on this together with C over at Sea of Diamonds. So she should be finishing hers like within this next day or two if she doesn't already have it done by the time this film goes up. Because I think she had 2 rows left to do when I finished mine. So she should be making really good progress on it over the weekend. To be able to have hers done too, but it was so much fun. And this was like, it was really fun for me to add all of these enhancements into this kit, especially with it being, being a Yume. That was even more special, having all of the enhancements on this as a Yume. So I really love it, and I had a blast doing it. And as you can see, I kind of tried to pick things that to like draw out some of the crystals to add a little bit of the depth, like I did for around our outline of our cat. Our little space void kitty has some of those crystals around him for accents, but it definitely adds some of that like 3-dimensional look, and especially when you're combining different types of drills where we have crystal confetti, dust, ABs, and there's some glitter in there. So it's all of those different shades of everything, which really adds to the story. Like, I love how the Monstera leaves look, because it's like when you look at them straight on, you get this kind of like glisten, but then depending on the angle you look at, that changes the look of it. Depending on the angle that you're doing it for that crystal that we're seeing in there. And then there's the glitter and then some dust around it. And when you see these things in real life, they kind of have almost like that waxy texture to them. And I think that really helped to bring out some of that waxy texture kind of look to it. But anyways, that is my Naughty Space Void, or Void Kitty is what we've been calling it. We've been just lovingly calling this Void Kitty. Instead of saying Naughty Space Void, we've been just like Void Kitty. And it turned out so good. So all told, I used quite a few enhancements on this. I need to actually look up, and I could count how many. So there's these 4, and then I've got 5, 6, 7. Well, actually that one I didn't use. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 different enhancements that I added into this canvas, which is a lot. That's officially, I think, the most that I've added to one kit, but it looked so good and it turned out fantastic and he looks beautiful. Oh, I love it. It was so much fun to do, and I love all the bling right here on our kitty cat. I think that looks fantastic. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed kind of getting a little bit of a close-up look as I kind of go in depth a little bit on what I did for my enhancements for Naughty Space Void. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.